Who is it that God loved enough to send his Son for? Well, Romans 5 gives a fourfold description of our lives, and it's very valuable for us to see. We were enemies of his, we were helpless, we were ungodly, we were sinners, and yet he acted in love. Listen to verse 6 through 10. While we were still helpless, we were helpless. At the right time, Christ died for the ungodly. Helpless, ungodly. One will hardly die for a righteous man, though perhaps for the good man someone would dare even to die. But God demonstrates his own love toward us in that while we were yet sinners, Christ died for us. Helpless, ungodly, sinners. That's who Christ died for. And then he gives a fourth description. Much more then, having now been justified by his blood, we shall be saved from the wrath of God through him. For if while we were enemies, we were reconciled to God through the death of his Son, much more having been reconciled, we shall be saved by his life. Take your place as a helpless, ungodly sinner, an enemy of God, and go right to Romans 5 and claim God's word on it. That's who Christ died for. You don't have to get yourself up to a point where you qualify. No, you need to get yourself down on your knees, so to speak, on your face before God, and confess that you're helpless to do anything about it. You're ungodly. You're a sinner. You're actually an enemy of God. And at that moment, when you look up to Christ, that's who Christ died for. He came to seek and to save the lost, helpless, ungodly sinners. He came to seek and to save his enemies. That's why we love him. That's why we can bask in his much more love. If he loved us when we were in that condition, now that we're his children, we can exult in his love for us.